All right, Shalom. First and foremost, before we start, we want to give all the praises, glory, and honor unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Kakurash. That's the true name of the Most High, who you ignorantly call God, and the name of His only begotten Son, who you ignorantly call Jesus Christ, and in the name of the Holy Spirit in which we come. I want to give a double honors to our teachers, which are the elder apostles of the great millstone, who rule well, and as always, peace and blessings to all the tabernacle of David, the 04 elect scattered throughout the four winds of the earth. All right, this is another day in Babylon. All right, this was it March 20th, Sunday, 2022, year to turn up. We're just out here, you know, to prophesy, to teach the truth. All right, and put this word out in hopes of reaching those of the hopeful elect, whoever they may be. And you need to understand, because I know the majority of you're coming out of these wayward religions, predominantly Islam and Christianity. Well, you need to get it drilled through your head that this word, all right, the Old and the New Testament, from Genesis to Revelation, this word is to you, not to anyone else. All right, we understand that, you know, Christianity, which is a man-made religion, you know, pretty much distorted the word of the Most High and opened it up to the rest of the world and made it universal. That's what the word Catholic means, universal. But this is an exclusive word. This is the exclusive text. This is esoteric, man. All right? So you need to get it through your mind, man. All right? This is not for everybody. Okay? The gospel is for the children of Israel. That's the good news, because guess what? The people that are on this sign, you're the ones that have been under the curse. All right? You've been the ones downtrodden. You've been the ones that's been in captivity. You are the ones that are of the broken heart. Okay? You are the ones that are in prison houses. You're the ones that were in gross darkness. A lot of you are still in gross darkness. But through this word, which is the light, this word is the light, is going to bring you out of that darkness, man. Yep.
Acts 10:36. The word which Yahweh sent unto the children of Israel, preaching peace by Yahushua, Mashiach, he is Lord of all. That word I say ye know, which was published throughout all Judea, and began from Galilee after the baptism which John preached.
Yeah, like when you go into the account of John's baptism, what heathen was getting baptized at the river Jordan? You didn't have no heathens getting baptized. He wasn't baptizing Romans. None of them Edomites, man. He was baptizing Israelites, lost Israelites. They were coming for the remission of their sins, which Yahushua had the authority to do, to forgive sins. Who are the only ones that can technically sin? The children of Israel, because they were under the law.
Yahushua wasn't healing heathens.
No. No. Now you had in the past heathens that did get healed. You know, even going back to at the time of I think it was a prophet Elisha. You had that the captain of the host of the Syrians, Naaman. You know, he had leprosy, and they inquired of him to go and see Elisha. You know, he was a man of the Most High, and he told him, you know, go to the river Jordan and dip yourself in it 7 times, and you'll be made whole. And he ended up doing that. And notice how Elisha, he had took a double portion of the spirit of Elijah. Now, who was Elijah in the reincarnation? John the Baptist.
Yeah.
See? So anyway, you got some. Somebody can get Psalms 147. Somebody can get Deuteronomy, the 4th chapter. All right, hold that. Give me that in Psalms.
Psalms 147 and 19. He showeth his word unto Jacob, his statutes and his judgments unto Israel.
Yep.
He had not dealt so with any nation. As for his judgments, they have not known them. Praise ye the Lord.
That's why the Lord exalted his people over everyone else. You know, we were the chosen nation that the Lord will bestow his way upon. You know, he gave us laws, statutes, judgments on how to govern ourselves, how to prosper in the land that we possessed, how to deal with each other as neighbors, as brothers, as kings, as priests.
As approaching to him.
As approaching to him. All right? He gave those things to us. When you're outside of that, you live in a beastly manner. Because notice, beasts, they're governed by their impulsiveness, their flesh. You know? They're pretty much lawless. That's why the Lord refers to these other nations as beasts. They don't have these commandments to keep them governed.
They don't have a discipline to follow.
None. That's why when you look into their cultures and the idols, the gods that they serve, it's all centered around appeasement of their flesh. You know, certain deities you gotta have orgies just to commemorate that idol. Or you gotta sacrifice your children. Some of them you gotta drink blood and all type of madness, man. You know? So that's how the Lord separated. That's what makes us holy. We're separate from that behavior. That brute nature that these nations naturally inhabit.
Yeah, they're not truly living. You know, we're the ones that when we come into this thing and we begin to live by the wisdom, the statute laws, and commandments of the Spirit, we now have that breath of life. We have an understanding of how to live on earth. We're not just groping, trying to figure it out.
That's what separated the sons of God. Before we were called the Israelites. We were the sons of God, you know, which we've always been. It was passed through, it was written in stone, and it was passed orally, and it was the breath of life, you know, that the Lord gave unto Adam.
2 Ezra 3:36. Thou shalt find that Israel by name hath kept thy precepts, but not the heathen.
Yeah, because it wasn't given to them. It was a point in time when the northern tribes got casted out of the land. You had heathens that were being imported into the land. I think it was during the time of King Shalmaneser V.
Yep.
You know, the northern tribes got banished away, and they imported them heathens into the land. And when they came in there, they started living after their own manner. And the Lord, you know, got agitated, and he sent lions among them. So it got drastic to where the priest had to basically teach them the ways of the land. You know? Because all they would do is desecrate. Just like right now, you got the fucking rats over there.
So what do you think about
the small hats? That's why they're gonna get eradicated out of the land. Jerusalem's gonna be ruined. It's gonna be in ruins. Before we get it built back up, the Lord's gonna level that place, man.
Flush it out and clean it out.
Huh? There's too much desecration going on over there, man. You know, it's suffering the shame of the heathen right now. That's what it talks about in Ezekiel 36 chapter. Because heathens occupy the Holy Land right now.
Yeah, it says a bastard shall dwell in Ashdod.
Yeah.
And Ashdod is a port city in Israel.
Yep. Yeah, man. You see, the nations don't look to them as a way to live on earth. If anything that they learn from them is how to be the most bloodthirsty, leeching, greedy, stingy. You know, to be the biggest niggard from them people, man.
They're known to be stingy. That's not what we were given this rulership of earth and the kingdom of heaven for. They're going to govern the nations. Yeah, they're going to bring all their forces unto us, and their, what do you call it? Their substance unto us.
Forces of the Gentiles.
Right, they're going to bring all that, but we're not going to just keep it only for ourselves. We're going to use it in the earth as it's supposed to be. We're going to have them. We're going to teach them the ways and the laws, so they can learn how to govern themselves upon the earth.
Covetousness is in the heart of our kingdom. And that's why even after after a certain appointed time, the nations are going to get their lands back. You know? Because, hey, even though we understand the earth is ours, hey, these nations, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shai, hey, they have it set up where these nations are still going to dwell in those lands, hey, in order for trade and certain commerce to be done, hey, around the world, man.
Yes, the kingdom is going to be, I mean, for the first 1,000 years, it's going to be hell for them and a paradise for us. But afterwards, you know, after they, you know, serve their punishment, you know, receiving a vengeance, and also being taught, because they're going to have to be taught up under us, because we're going to be priests. After they've learned the way, the wisdom, then everything's going to be fair. Then you're going to learn to appreciate our wisdom, which comes from the Heavenly Father, man. Because our wisdom is supposed to be, it's like the law, statutes, commandments is supposed to be our wisdom in the sight of the nations. They're supposed to see nothing but I'm trying to think of the term. But basically, they're supposed to see it's very profitable. You know, because notice, like once these laws become implemented in the world to govern the nations, think about all the divorce. It's gonna seep out of the earth. There ain't gonna be no divorce. You know, women divorcing men. There ain't gonna be abortions
and starvation.
None.
All this is gonna be cured.
All of the abominable behavior the people men, sexual depravity, immoralization. The Lord's gonna get rid of all that, man. But right now, the wicked is in power. That's why. So everything is unbalanced. You know, where he's known as the man of sin. You know, the man of lawlessness. All right.
Like it says, all the foundations are out of course. Everything's out of course.
Yep.
This is Deuteronomy 4 and 6. In fact, I started with 5.
Yeah.
It says, behold, I have taught you statutes and judgments, even as the Lord Yahweh my power commanded me, that ye should do so in the land.
You know what? I want you to read all the way down, bro.
It's Deuteronomy 4 at the top.
You know what? We're gonna go through this whole chapter, actually.
Good chapter.
We're just gonna go through that chapter. Go ahead.
It's Deuteronomy 4 at the top. Now therefore hearken, O Israel, unto the statutes and unto the judgments which I teach you, for to do them, that ye may live and go in and possess the land which the Lord Yahweh gave of your fathers, giveth you.
Go ahead.
Ye shall not add unto the word which I command you, neither shall ye diminish aught from it.
That's said in Revelation at the end, right?
Yeah, don't add to it. It doesn't need any mixtures. You know, it don't need any leaven. There's a little leaven the whole lump.
Yeah.
You try to add other philosophies to this, now you're distorting the Lord's word, man.
Saying heathens can make it is adding.
Corrupting the word of the Most High.
Saying heathens, Edomites can make it, that's adding to the word.
Yeah, because you're opening up the covenant that the Lord made between himself and his people. You say that other nations can now be involved in that. You're broadening the covenant or agreement that he actually set in place.
Yeah.
He didn't open it up to the rest of the world. The covenant still applies only to the nation of Israel. So when you say that the other nations can be a part of this, now you're adding to the word.
Not that he couldn't do it, but he didn't do it. That's the point.
When you try to make the epistles of Paul, because it keeps saying Gentiles, so now it's for everybody, you're adding to the word. And that's why even Peter acknowledged that a lot of read those scriptures. A lot of people want to read them scriptures, not understanding those scriptures.
Ever
and
learn?
They're gonna wrestle with it until their own destruction because they're not learned. You know?
Say ever learning, but never kind. Yeah.
What I was going to say real quick was the spirit that you're going into this, because I was doing a lesson on John chapter 10, verse 16. Other sheep I have of this fold, you know, I kind of went into that verse right there. But it's the same thing. Those are still talking about Israelites.
Right.